Alright, hello everyone, welcome back to my channel again. Today, as you can see, we're doing a bit more drawing, but I've done it slightly differently than how I normally would do it, because from what I've done before, you've probably seen, I've done screen recordings of like a graphics tablet and using Clip Studio, but this time I wanted to show you stuff that I draw on my iPad. So that's why there's like, it's not quite the right size and the ratio is all funny for the video, but yeah, I just thought it would be cool to kind of show you what I get up to when I'm doing it on my iPad instead. And I wanted to do more of a well, as you can see, they're my own characters this time, rather than like Sonic characters or what's it called, octopi. And yeah, I just wanted to show off these guys a little bit more because I haven't really spoken about them since the first video that I showed them in. So this first character that I'm drawing here is called Liv. When I created them, they didn't have a gender, and I kind of went with that. Like, I've categorically said that they are non-binary, and later down the line I was like, they're also going to be aromantic, because unfortunately, you know, a lot of aro ace representation isn't really in a lot of media these days, and I do want to try and make my stuff, you know, as inclusive as I possibly can, in the ways that I can do. But yeah, this is just like how I do like my sketches on my iPad. I know when I was drawing Sonic characters in my first drawing video, I did say, like, I know technically you're not supposed to draw a circle and divide that circle up into sections, but it is the way that I've like taught myself how to draw, and it works for me, even if the characters' heads aren't like super round. But yeah, I had quite a lot of fun drawing this one, because I haven't actually drawn all 6 of these characters together yet, and this is like the first time I've properly put them in one place all together, because I have been trying to draw like a comic to go with them, but that's haven't actually done that for a little while, because stuff just keeps getting in the way, unsurprisingly, so I just keep putting it off and not touching it, when I know I should really get back to it at some point, because it would be a good idea, because that's what I want to do with these guys. And what I do here, you'll see, is I'll sketch out each of the characters individually, and I'll also draw them on separate layers, because I find that really helps when I'm trying to, like, you know, if somebody needs to move their arm, then I don't have to worry about messing up the rest of the sketch. So you can see here now I'm moving on to Kiona, after I've made Liv a bit smaller. And it just, like, I don't know, messing around with the canvas size as well, and actually going back to what I said about doing this differently. Obviously I am doing the voiceover after I've done all the recording. Normally I would record at the same time and then just cut my voice here and there, wherever. But yeah, like I said before, because I've done it differently, so I have to do the voice recording differently. So I just kind of get to talk over my guys. And I have already told you guys about Kiona. If you've watched my cringing at old art video, then you know that Kiona is easily my oldest, like, character that I created. Originally I think she was just supposed to be full-on robot. And I did briefly revisit her design when I was at uni for my foundation course, because I was like, oh, I want to try and maybe fit her in somehow, somewhere. I don't really know. And she was still kind of robotic. She was very metallic and had very robot-y eyes, and she was just all round a robot, so she was very inspired by, like, Mega Man and Astro Boy in particular. But then when I drew her most recently, I made her more organic, and I made her so that she would be a cyborg instead, so she'd obviously have robotic parts, but ultimately, yeah, she's this hybrid of organic life and a robot. And now I've moved on to sketching out Riley. Their name is spelt funny. I don't remember it off the top of my head, but it is spelt funny. Originally, Riley was human. But when I was, like, creating characters for this little story that I wanted to try and come up with, I decided to change it so that he was obviously fit in with the group and he wasn't a human anymore, and I decided that I wanted to go with goat, because originally Riley was obviously had been in an accident, lost an eye, lost an arm, and that was it. Yeah, they lost arm and eye, and that was it. But then drawing him as a goat, I was like, well, actually, I might do it so that, he's also lost a horn and part of his ear, because that just makes it a little bit more obvious then when you're looking at him from a glance. And again, wanting to be inclusive, he was always trans. Like, when I first drew him, I was like, yeah, no, he's trans. And uses he, him, they, them pronouns. He did also briefly go through a design where I was like super dark and edgy, and I was trying to just paint with, like, values rather than colour. So it would be like, it was just all black and white, and then I'd add the colour afterwards. And it was okay, but, like, I didn't really like it that much. And I think that's why I kind of ultimately, when I created more of these animal characters, they ended up being a part of it too, because I really do quite like Riley as a character. And I always have to try and make sure to remember that he has a mullet, and it is, always dyed a bright colour. Because it's cool, it makes him stand out a bit. I do also want to apologise for, like, all the screen moving around, because when I'm drawing on an iPad, because I like the fact that you can, like, move the canvas around as much as you can with just your hands. You don't really have to worry about, like, oh, now I need to press the scroll wheel, and now I need to do this, and now I need to do that. So if it does get a bit jittery, I am very sorry about that. But that is just how I like to draw and how I like to sketch. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say right now. I mean, I haven't really been up to much. it's now obviously officially December, which is honestly crazy to think about. It's baffled me that November went as quickly as it did, and December's just already here. It's just like, wow, what the hell? And you know, I have done a little bit of Christmas shopping, just enough for, you know, my family and my boyfriend, and we were also doing a Secret Santa this year between our friends. So I have gotten a few little things. I might also draw something because I like drawing things for people. Okay. So now I'm actually on to Mari. Short for Marigold. So you could technically, I guess, pronounce her name Mari if you really wanted to. She ended up being the little doodle that I did at work. Because I like drawing frogs. I like drawing frog people. And as you can tell, they're very inspired by Animal Crossing frogs. And I just think she's a cute character. Again, she is also trans. A lot of these characters are like a part of the LGBTQ plus community. Because, like I've said many times, I think representation is really important, especially at the moment when the world is just kind of going to shit, and the homophobic and the transphobic people are like, oh, you can't be here, you're not like us, and it's like, well, fuck you, you're not like us, go away. So yeah, I think especially right now, representation is very, very important, and we should all be very supportive of each other and not point fingers. We should all be nice, we should all be friends, that's all that matters, cause then we have no reason to be angry at anyone at all. We should all just be friends. Anyway, you can see kind of me here messing around. The reason why I did every character on separate layers, like I said, is so I can position hands where I need to, and if they end up in the wrong place, it doesn't matter too much, and it won't cause an issue for like the rest of the drawings. So obviously, because Riley's on a separate layer, it won't affect Mari's shoulder or anything, because I do decide in the end to actually move this hand to Mari's waist, because it made more sense, because Mari ended up being a bit too short here, so I made her a bit taller, because she is the tallest of the 6 of these characters, and Kiona is, I think she's the shortest, just because, you know, she's a cute little cat. So yeah, I hope everybody at home is doing well. Hope you're not too cold at the moment now that it's December. I definitely have noticed a drop in the temperature. It's kind of cold here. It's been very frosty and foggy and just all around not very nice. It's also been very rainy today. I did do my last bit of Christmas shopping today, and I did end up getting a bit wet. I had to actually change my socks and my shoes when I got home, because I decided to wear my Crocs out, and that was a bad idea, I know. But at least my Crocs are waterproof and they won't be wet tomorrow. So that's part of the reason why I wear Crocs in the rain, is so I don't have to worry about my shoes trying to dry off and then them not drying off. So it's all calculated, I swear. Sometimes if I don't know what to say, or if I screw up my words, I will make funny noises to compensate for that fact. I do it at work, when I've done, like, voiceover stuff at work, and my co-workers always find it really funny, because they think that because they aren't fluent in English, like, I mean, they are, but it's not their first language, so sometimes, they'll ask me quite a lot if, like, the grammar is correct, or if they spelt something right, and I always have to double check, just in case. So I think they do find it quite funny when I'm, trying to say something, and then I mess it up, and I go, because they do laugh at me, which is fine. Like, I laugh at myself when I do it, so it has, yeah, it's fun. It's fun. It's all fun, silly work, and I love it. Good fun, yes. Also, if I end up rambling as I'm drawing other characters, like new characters, like for example, now I am onto drawing Oscar. It's because the playback that I'm watching gets delayed sometimes, and I end up just a few seconds behind, and then I forget that I'm actually a little bit ahead. But yes, this is Oscar. He is best friends with Riley, and Mari as well. He likes to wear gender non-conforming outfits sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes. Because in this video I did just draw him in a t-shirt and jeans because it was easy for me to do. But sometimes he likes to wear gender non-conforming outfits. Which again, if I do manage to do a comic of them, you'll be able to see all of this at some point. Just not yet. But I will get there soon, I promise. You just have to give me some time. There's also a bunch of moments that I had to cut out because I had to of the video, that is, because I had to double check what my characters looked like, because in some cases I do have the images on my phone, so it's fine, but there have been a couple instances where I either didn't have my phone on me, or I just didn't have my phone, so I had to come out of the artwork and then look at the original one that I'd drawn, so I could compare and see that it was definitely the character that I wanted to draw. Because I don't know how I managed to do this, but I managed to leave my phone at home the other day. And when I got to work, I was like, oh fuck, I've left my phone at home. I've never done that before. And luckily, because I don't live that far away from work, I was able to walk back during my lunch break and grab it. But my god, it was stressful, and I did not like doing that. Not fun. Would not recommend. And I've actually been watching a lot of videos recently of TikTok piercing videos, piercings gone wrong or tattoos gone wrong, and it's all very funny because a lot of it is making fun of Claire's, and how when I will admit I have a couple of piercings from Claire's, but it's only my lobes. I would never go to Claire's to get my cartilage done or my nose done, because that is just such a terrible idea. So if any of y'all are thinking of getting your ears pierced, just go to a professional piercer and don't go to Claire's, because it's a bad idea. And the piercing instruments they use are not actually safe for your ears, and they have lied about it in the past, so really do not go to them because they are shit. Yeah, make sure that you do your research and find a good piercer to go to. And this last character that I'm gonna sketch out, she's called Maxie. I did actually have to get help for her name because I had names for the rest of them. I just couldn't come up with a name for her. And luckily my friends were like, she looks like a Maxie, and I was like, that's great, thank you very much for your help. Speaking of, I know for Secret Santa, you're not supposed to ask your friends for help, but I really had no idea what to get for my Secret Santa because I don't know them that well. So I had to be like, please help me out, I don't know what I'm doing. And luckily, they were very nice and gave me some help to figure out what to give them, and hence why I went out and bought some today. Whilst I was also out, actually, I saw some more houses that are like open for rent or sale, and I know I need to look into that sooner rather than later, because otherwise I'll end up in a situation like I did this year where I'm living with students from the uni, and look, they're okay to live with, but sometimes not very good at tidying up after themselves, and then they get annoyed at other people, and it's just like, please, you have to understand, I can try my best to tidy up my stuff, and I know sometimes I can be a bit messy, I know that, but you gotta understand, I also have depression, and it makes it very tricky for me sometimes to actually find the effort to tidy up stuff. And now, admittedly, I am better at tidying up stuff that's in a public space, because if you compare my room to my stuff in my kitchen, my room is way messier, and it's not good. Like, it's a constant battle of moving stuff from my desk and my desk chair to my bed, and then when it's bedtime, I move the stuff from my bed back onto my desk and to my desk chair. That's how messy I am. I do also kind of want to... I don't know, games. I guess I should talk about games. I want to play more games. I was thinking about playing Terraria, but problem is I started playing it on journey mode a little while ago, and I really like just being able to mess around and collect stuff that way, rather than playing it properly, I guess. Because, you know, I have a lot of fun just collecting shit and killing things for the things that they drop, and it's, I don't know, it's more fun for me that way. I don't know. I just like playing it like that. Because it's kind of fun. It's kind of silly. It's kind of fun. And obviously I will go back to Little Witch in the Woods, because I have to do another part on that at some point. And I really do love Little Witch in the Woods because it's very cute, very adorable, and I like running around, especially seeing the little squish chubs. They're very cute. The little rabbits are adorable. And I know I said it like back when it came out, but I still need to play Sonic Superstars. Because I haven't done that yet, and I said I would for you guys, and I just haven't touched it. But what I have been playing is I've been playing Cult of the Lamb, and it is really fun. I really like Cult of the Lamb. I love collecting friends that are definitely not sacrifices that I can sacrifice to the demon god. It's fine. It's fine. It's all for a good reason. It's all for my cult to grow and get bigger and stronger. But I love that it's like a mixture of like, oh yeah, you've got the roguelike sections, but then you've got like town maintenance, and I love the contrast, because compared to Enter the Gungeon, which I have played as well, Cult of the Lamb is quite different, especially for the hub world bit. Like, Enter the Gungeon, yeah, you get to walk around, you get to buy new things, but it's been a while since I've actually walked around the hub area, because I normally just do a quick start. But yeah, I think I prefer Cult of the Lamb. Also, because Cult of the Lamb actually makes me feel like I'm making progress, whereas Enter the Gungeon is kind of like, well, you got so far, but now you're back to square one with 1 gun, 3 hearts, and that's it. Whereas Cult of the Lamb is like, well done, you've upgraded yourself, so now that you have more hearts or more strength, and your weapons and your curses are stronger. Whereas, yeah, Gungeon is just kind of like, oh, well, you died, so go back to the beginning and try again. Roll. But yeah, time for a change in topic, I guess. I don't really know. Other games, I guess. What do I want to play? I don't really know. I played Mario Wonder when it came out, and that was really fun. It was like a nice change from just another Mario Maker, if I'm honest. Don't get me wrong, Mario Maker is really fun, and you can definitely tell, like, Mario Wonder definitely has some levels that are inspired by Mario Maker, because, like, yeah, there's obviously like the platform one where you have to time your jumps right, and yeah, there's just a lot I think that Nintendo realized people really wanted from like Mario, so they kind of took that and used it to inspire Mario Wonder, which I find really cool, to be honest. Like, that's such a cool idea to be like, yes, we used this game to help us inspire what we're doing now, which is very cool. I like that a lot. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say about games. What does everybody want for Christmas this year, I guess? I'm hoping mostly to get some stuff from people that I like, shops that I found at Comic-Con, because they were really cool. And I do want to try and do Comic-Con at some point, like, as an artist and not a cosplayer, because, you know, I think that would be really cool to do. However, when I tried to apply for last May, or this May technically, I didn't hear back, which means obviously I was unsuccessful. And they don't really tell you how to improve, like, on your application or anything. They just kind of pick and choose, and then that's it. Like, it's not, like they said, it's not first come, first serve. It's, they actually do curate who gets tables. So I guess I'd have to, like, ask other artists, like, oh, how did you manage to get a table here? What kind of stuff do you think helps that you make that means you got a table? Because, you know, there's things I want to do, like, I want to do, like, the little acrylic charms, maybe enamel pins, but I've never made enamel pins, or I never asked a manufacturer to make enamel pins. And yeah, like, obviously I think I could do prints quite nicely. Like, I did actually write down a list of things that I wanted to do if I wanted to sell them. So, like, obviously, there is, like, I've got a lot of Hollow Knight stuff, and Hollow Knight is something that I would love to produce, like, little acrylic charms, a little prints for people to buy, even, like, little cross-stitch or embroidery things, because I think that would be really cute. But I know I'd have to... Sorry, I'm clicking my knuckles. I'd have to look into, you know, how much time would that actually take, how much money would that be on my part, and, you know, it's interesting talking to my dad about it, because he does a lot more like traditional art, so he's always kind of like, well, surely you'd want to create something that's unique and individual so you can sell it for a really high price. And it's like, I guess, but at the same time, you know, you go to Comic-Con and you don't want things to be super high priced, because you want people to look at it and say, yes, I can afford that. So yeah, my thoughts are I just need to talk to some people that have actually gone to Comic-Con to do these sorts of things and see if I can get some advice for it. And what else? I was talking about Christmas before that, wasn't I? What else do I want for Christmas? I want some earrings for my, because I've got a couple that I haven't actually been able to change since I got them pierced, which is annoying. And one of them that I have been able to change, but annoyingly, I kept losing the balls for them, so I kind of want to get one that's, like, hopefully not gonna get lost or fall out easily. So I'm tempted to get, like, the hoops that you clip on. Not clip on, but, like, they've got the hinge on them, so they stay in a lot easier. And I actually do prefer the hoops that have got the hinges on, because trying to find the hole to get, like, regular hoop earrings in is such a pain to do, that when I got hoop ones I was like, I am never ever going back to like hinge ones like that. And lastly, what else did I put on my list? I put a couple of Lego sets, because I was in London with my sister yesterday, and we went to the Lego store, because they've got a Lego store up there, and there's a couple sets that I saw that are really cute and really adorable. And one of them is called Amy's Animal Rescue. Obviously Amy Rose from the Sonic series, but again, I've spoken about it, and I am, like, very attached to Amy as a character because she shares my name. So I was like, oh my god, I really like that little thing. Also, Tails comes in that set, and that's adorable. And my boyfriend already has Sonic and Robotnik, so, you know, eventually, if we can live together, then we can have all 4 characters in one go, and that's kind of cool. I like that idea. And one of the other ones was you can get mini plants, which is really cute. Like, I would absolutely love to have those just dotted around my room, because I've never had a real house plant, but I think having, like, you know, just having little Lego ones would be kind of cute and adorable. My sister does something similar with the Lego flowers, actually. She's got, like, a whole flower vase full of Lego flowers, and it's really cute. So yeah, that's what's on my Christmas list. So now you all better tell me what's on your Christmas lists, because it's December, and therefore December is Christmas. Even though in the UK, like, the end of September is Christmas, because we don't celebrate Halloween that much, so everyone's like, oh, it's Christmas already. But yeah, I've also started on my advent calendar. My mum was very kind enough to buy me one this year, even though she didn't need to. But I'm very grateful that she did, because it was very nice of her. And it is a Lindt chocolate one. It's very nice. It's got very good things in it. The first day was a little reindeer, like a tiny reindeer. And I know that the last day is Santa, because it told me that the last day is Santa. But the last couple ones have been like the little squares. They kind of remind me of the chocolate Christmas tree decorations you can get, where they're just like a neat little square with like a little I guess it's like a little ridge around the outside, right? So there's like a dip in the middle where, I don't know, it's just cute and I like it. And yeah, I always felt like those ones, specifically like the little square ones, were like so much nicer than other ones. Like the regular chocolate that you get when it's in a bar and you have to snap pieces off, that's cool. But like, what about the little square that's got a little indent and it's got the little decoration on the middle of the square? I don't really know how else to describe it other than that. But I always thought that would just tasted way nicer. So, you know, like and comment if you agree, and like and comment if you disagree. That's obviously if you have made it this far in the video. I have been talking for a very long time, and it's hurting my voice. But that's okay, because I don't mind. But yeah, no, that's what it reminded me of. I was just like, oh, it's like a Christmas tree decoration, because you can get chocolate ones here. But it also means avoid putting your tree next to the radiator, because if it's got chocolates on it, then it's gonna melt, which is not good. And unfortunately this year our Christmas is going to be the first Christmas we have without cats in the house. Because unfortunately our pet cat Mary died this year. We had to get her put down because she was struggling. She was 19 years old, which is very good for a cat. But bless her, yeah, we had to take her to the vet, and Mum had to make that choice. Which ultimately was the right choice, I think. I don't think Mary wasn't having, you know, as nice of a life as she could have been having, unfortunately. But yes, Mum was like, oh, it's the first Christmas without cats, so we could get a real tree. And I was like, you could, but then you got to worry about like the pine needles, and it's such a waste. In my opinion, to get a real tree is such a waste, because A, you're cutting down trees, B, once you cut it down, then it starts dying, and you have to make sure that it doesn't die before Christmas is over, because otherwise Christmas is just sad and depressing, because you've got a dead tree in your room, in your front room, your back room, wherever you keep a Christmas tree. So yeah, it's just, I get it, because our cats did have a habit of sitting in the most uncomfortable places. I remember there was one year that my mum put tinsel around the bottom of the tree just to be like, maybe this will stop the cats from sleeping under it and trying to climb up, whatever. No, instead they decided to sleep on the tinsel, which is like, of course they don't care. But yeah, first Christmas without pets, kind of sad, but also mum does miss them, but also she doesn't miss the litter tray or like the fact that there's fur everywhere. I mean, we're still finding fur everywhere now. What with, even though they're gone, we're still finding their fur everywhere. But yeah, all the more reason for me to get a cat when I get my own place that's not a student house. Yay! What I don't know. What are some Christmas traditions that everyone has? Because at my house, at home, mum and dad's, I don't know how I want to say it anymore. We always have like pastries in the morning for breakfast. Like we have croissants and pain au chocolat, and then my mum and dad will always have like a glass of champagne because it's Christmas and they're allowed to, they're allowed to have a little bit of alcohol. And we also put out. I was talking about Santa then for a second. I was like, oh yeah, we put brandy and biscuits or mince pies up for Santa. But no, I'm talking about mum and dad. They have a glass of champagne, and then I usually have J2O because I don't drink alcohol and I don't like fizzy drinks either. So I'll have a J2O. So will my brother, and I think my sister will too. It's honestly hard for me to remember whether they do or not. And usually the tree goes up on the first weekend of December because we've got birthdays right up until the end of November, so we tend to wait until the first weekend of December. But I know that's changed the past couple years because my mum's just been like, I can't be bothered, so then we just haven't put it up on the first weekend of December, which is fine. And my mum has also recently started buying goose instead of turkey for dinner on Christmas Day, which is quite nice. I'd never had turkey before she cooked it a couple years ago, and it was very nice of her to do that. And because we always do it that we have slow roasted gammon on Christmas Eve, so that on Boxing Day we can have ham and turkey pie. Obviously that's now ham and goose pie, but either way it's quite a nice little tradition that we've got where we have one meal on Christmas Eve and then another meal on Christmas, and then we combine it to have a nice meal on Boxing Day. And then I don't remember when this started, but quite a few years ago now, because we've got a friend, or my mum has a friend that has her daughter's birthday is on Boxing Day, so then we started also going to theirs on Boxing Day for her birthday, which was just a nice thing to do. But yeah, it's always funny like going to like, because my boyfriend, we've started doing Christmas at each other's houses, so one year I'll go to his and one year he'll come to mine, and this year it's his turn to come to my house. But it's interesting like learning different traditions that they do. So like they do this thing where on Christmas Eve you get given chocolates and also a book for like a present to open for Christmas Eve before you go to bed, which is quite nice. And obviously, yeah, I've managed to get a few books from his parents now because they just have that tradition where they do books and chocolate. one thing I will say actually is I don't know when this started, but my eczema's flared up recently, and it's kind of annoying because it's like, obviously eczema is annoying because it's itchy and it's dry and it's just not very nice. But normally it's not this bad, and I don't know why it's recently flared up so much. But it's like on top of one eyelid and underneath on the other side, and then it's like all over my torso. It's very annoying, very itchy, and I am trying to leave it alone, but it's very tricky to leave alone. But I'm hoping that over Christmas, I'll have some time off work and I'll have some time away from my housemates, and maybe that will help a little bit, because I do have to admit they stress me out sometimes. They make me very stressed, and I know they don't mean to, but there was a little time ago that they were complaining about the Wi-Fi a lot, and I know it was bad. I know the Wi-Fi was not great at the time, but they were just constantly like, Amy, you need to sort it out, Amy, you need to sort it out, Amy, you need to sort it out, and I was like, I am at work, I can't sort it out, I am busy. But they just weren't having it. They were just like, you need to sort it out now, and I was like, fucking fine, do it. And because they kept bothering me about it, it stressed me out so much. Then I got to a point where I was just like, look, if you need it to be sorted out, I will give you my details to sort it out, so that you can do it while you're at home, and so that you can all yell at them together. But they were like, no, you need to do it. And I was like, fine. And eventually I did just kind of tell the guy that I was talking to, after the third time of calling them, I was like, look, my housemates are getting on my nerves about this. And he was like, oh, I'm really sorry about that. And I think that kind of helped. Like, they were like, we need to get somebody in there to help this poor girl out, because she sounds very stressed out. And I think my eczema is normally stress related. So, yeah, hopefully having a couple weeks off over Christmas, which is actually coming up kind of soon, as well as having some time away from everyone here, will just be a little bit nicer, and I can take it. Oh goodness. I can take it all chilled and be all calm and like, yeah. Yeah. I don't really know what else to say, guys, honestly, like, yeah. I talk about nothing or everything. I am hoping to see my friends over Christmas or the New Year, because that's normally when we do our Secret Santa. We normally do it at New Year's Eve, but I know that a lot more of my friends are busy around that time this year, so I don't know actually what day we'll be doing the Secret Santa. But we're also going to be doing a little Christmas dinner with one of our other friends, which is also really nice, to just, chill out and hang out, play games, do whatever, and have some fun, because I quite like playing Jackbox with them, a lot of the Jackbox party pack games. Unfortunately, I'm not very good at the word ones. I'm actually, like, astoundingly terrible at the word games in Jackbox, because I just can't think of words on my feet. When it's like, oh, come up with a lie in Quiplash, and I'm like, what? I genuinely, I cannot think of anything. And everyone else is like, haha, lol, was so funny. And I'm like, how? How did you do this? And yeah, I'm really bad at it. So I normally stick to at the drawing games. Like, I really like TKO, and now that TKO 2 is out as well, I just really like that. I like Drawful as well. That's really fun. And I like Civic Doodle as well, because sometimes it's really funny just making like the most cursed looking drawings ever, and it's really funny. I'm so tired. I need to wake up, but I can't. I'm so sleepy, guys. But yeah, I know we'll have a lot of fun playing games. Even like we play regular board games sometimes. It's just like, yeah, we'll just play a little bit of Two Rooms and a Boom. This is quite fun. Another one we play Skull. We play Skull quite a lot as well. That's a really fun game. I'm not the best at bluffing, I don't think. Everyone's like, Amy, you're really good at lying, and I'm like, no, I'm not. Have you seen me play Among Us? I'm terrible at lying. Like, every time I was the imposter in that game, I was like caught immediately, and I can't deal with Among Us. It makes me too stressed, and I actually genuinely cry when I play that game, so I can't. It's too stressful for me. And that's probably why you guys will never ever see me play Among Us, unless, you know, I end up playing with other YouTubers, which I am sure I will not be friends with ever, because let's face it, look at me, I'm a little British person playing, drawing and doing stuff in their own time. But, you know, that's the dream, isn't it? To be like, oh, I'm big enough that these people will talk to me and actually do a collaboration with me. But I currently highly doubt that. But yeah, ones where you have to like lie about your position, I'm just really, really bad at doing. So yeah, I tend to avoid things that involve confrontation and lying to my friends. But yeah, as you can see, I'm getting towards the end of this drawing now. There's only a couple minutes left. And it's just like adding all the lighting / shading, whatever you want to call it. And what I like doing is, obviously you've seen, I like using a purple tone and then doing like a multiply layer, and then I can just rub out like the parts that would more likely be lit up, just to give it a more realistic feel, because I kind of like doing that with my art, even if it's not realistic itself. And yeah, I also like where the shadows meet the light as well. I also tend to use an overlay for like a yellowy orangey colour, which works quite nicely to make it all the more realistic. And please do not get annoyed, but I did miss out Mari's ring when I was doing this. But don't worry, I realised and I coloured it in, but I coloured it in off recording because I was getting to a point where I couldn't record anymore, because A, my iPad was struggling, and B, my Google Drive was just like, hey, you have no space. And then my fucking laptop was like, hey, you've got no space. And I was like, fucking everything's got no space. So after I've done the shading on the characters, I was just like, right, I'm just going to draw the background in my own time and just get it done, because I don't have the time to film it, which is a shame, because I would have liked to film more of it, but yeah, I was just out of energy, out of time, and yeah, I was just, yeah, tired. But yeah, here we go. This is the final look. I hope you did enjoy this episode of drawing and chatting. I know it's long. I know, I like to ramble a lot. But if you did make it to the end of the video, I do really appreciate it. If you could consider liking, subscribing, leaving a comment, whatever helps out, because it all helps out, even if it's I didn't like this comment, whatever, it helps because I'm getting an interaction. So thank you so much for watching, everybody, and I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye.